Well, that was a movie.
Hello and welcome back to First Thoughts. I'm Simon, this is Justin, and today we're giving our first thoughts on I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. So I guess I know what you did in 2024. For those of you who haven't seen the trailer, you don't know what it is, it's not really a reboot. It is a sequel, but it's like a soft reboot because it's a whole new cast of characters, but it's still in the same universe because they do run into Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s characters from the previous two films. Well, I guess technically there was more movies in between.
I don't know how many movies in between. I only know there was a second one because they was like, I Still Know What You Did. So let's just say there was just those two. This might as well be three. It's really just
there was some
a continuation,
really bad,
just 20 years later.
Yeah, there was some really bad sequels in between with other people. Like there was I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, but it was a completely different cast. I don't know how many fans have even watched those because they're not considered good at all. Not that any of them are really considered good exactly, but they're beloved in their own way. But yeah, so I think this movie, well, okay, it's very tongue-in-cheek, it's very referential to the other two movies. I say that. Maybe it's referential to all the other movies. I don't know. I've only ever seen the first two and now this one. So I will also say, I feel like it referenced, and maybe I'm thinking about it too much, but I feel like it referenced Scary Movie a couple of times. Just out of respect for Scary Movie parodying them, they referenced them back. I'll get into that in spoilers a little bit. It's nothing serious, but I was like, I feel like there were some references. But yes, plenty of references to the other two movies as well. But yeah, whole new cast of characters, new writer, director. You just watched the first one for the first time.
Yes, I did.
You haven't seen any of the other ones, just the first one so
I did
far.
read the Wikipedia synopsis of the second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
feel like
fresh
I've
off
seen
of it. I've seen it more, but you've seen it more recently.
Right.
How do you feel like the tone and pacing, all of that, how do you feel like it compared almost 30 years later?
Outside of them actually being able to afford all the original music this time, which did drag me out of the movie in the first one. Almost every time. It was hilarious. I have to say, I guess I prefer the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love either of them.
Yeah.
Kind of just got through them. I guess this one was faster paced and
Sure.
a little more gory. But still not that much. Really.
No, it really wasn't. In
There's
fact,
more
some
like-
of the effects I thought were pretty bad in this one.
Yeah, there's more like gory set pieces in this one than there are actual gory
Sure.
kills.
Yeah, well, it's a different era. I think that's kind of the difference between the two in feel, was like 90s slashers were definitely cheaper and grittier than they are now. But nowadays, there's usually more blood because it's easier and more affordable.
Yeah.
Also, people have been desensitized by it. And so, yeah, so it definitely felt more modern. I will also say, for context for you and those of you who don't know, the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, it was a script written by the guy who went on to write Scream. But when he was trying to get I Know What You Did Last Summer made into a movie, everybody rejected the script, said the script sucks, this will never get made. But then he wrote Scream, that got made, and it was extremely successful. So then every studio came to him like, well, what else have you written? And he said, here you go. So that script, I think everybody already knew at the time, wasn't good. They were just capitalizing off of like, oh, from the writer of Scream kind of thing.
Of course.
And so it had a very low budget because people weren't willing to put a lot into it. The most appealing thing about it was the cast that became so famous afterward. I mean, I'm sure Freddie Prinze Jr. was already doing some stuff, and Sarah Michelle Gellar probably, but I don't think Jennifer Love Hewitt was famous yet. I think they all kind of got a big boost from that movie. Like, the cast were nobodies at the time, they became famous afterwards. So it's like there was no budget.
Listen, they had the Big Bang Theory guy.
Oh, yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, he was in a different TV show at the time, actually, or before that.
Probably.
Because he was a
but,
child actor in a TV show. So anyway, it's not a famous cast. It's a low budget. I don't know if you knew this, but there was a scene in the movie that was directed by like this teen kid. He won a contest, and he said, why don't we have Jennifer Love Hewitt go into the middle of the street, spin around in a circle, screaming, what are you waiting for? And they all went, that's stupid. But then they did it, and it became the most iconic scene in the movie. And in so much so that it was referenced in the trailer for this movie. So, which made me laugh hysterically a couple weeks ago when the trailer came up, and you had no idea why. Now you know why that's funny.
Yeah, I do remember that scene, and it was an interesting reference. I will say, it's interesting knowing that this is the same person that wrote Scream.
Well, not this one, but the first one, yes.
Well, the first one, I mean.
Yeah.
But like,
very similar in a lot of ways.
I was very much watching that movie expecting it to have a somewhat of a Scream ending where it was one of the gang trying to get revenge on everybody. And then it was just like this, I guess, directly connected, but kind of
Scooby-Doo-esque.
Yeah, it was just like, oh no, like we thought we killed this one guy, but we didn't really kill this one guy.
Yeah.
He was actually killed by the father of his wife or girlfriend or whatever. And then we accidentally hit that guy on his way back from killing the first guy. And then that guy didn't actually die, and that's why he's hunting us. And I was just like, okay. Yeah. So I guess will the gang be a part of it this time? Will it just be some outside venture? I had no idea. But at least in the first one, for a little while, I kind of thought it was going to be Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character.
Interesting. Yeah. That'd be funny if Freddy was the bad guy in that and Shaggy was the bad guy in Scream. Please. That'd be great. But yeah, so I had marginal expectations for this because, like I said, I don't really think any of the movies in the franchise are like high quality movies. They're just fun. They're garbage, slasher films that are self-aware, tongue-in-cheek. They know what they are, with a fun cast like Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yep.
Fucking Jennifer Love Hewitt is the love of my life, the OG. Maybe Hilary Duff was first. One or the other was first. I'm not sure which. I've said it before on this channel, I believe, but Jennifer Love Hewitt in the tuxedo changed my life. I never looked back.
She awoke things in him.
But, so, I mean, I find those movies really fun. I didn't know how much I would enjoy, like, a soft reboot because you're changing out the whole cast. I know there's member berries and the old cast has cameos, but it's like, The Force Awakens. We're redoing the plot, but not really. And the original cast is there, but they're not really that important. They're side characters.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this. And I will say, for the first 2/3, I actually did kind of enjoy it. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it as much as the originals, but I was enjoying it until it got a little too stupid. I did not like the end of this movie at all. In fact, the last 10 minutes felt like a reshoot. Maybe not literally 10 minutes, but it felt like 10 minutes because, man, it dragged on.
It had they made some interesting choices. Some
very interesting choices and commentary out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that was rough. Even the dog next to us wanted to get out.
I love that. I didn't get a good look at the dog. I was like a little dachshund or something. But I like to think the people just pulled a fake service dog in.
What kind of dog?
Dachshund? Dachshund?
There you go. I've never heard it called a dachshund before. That was, yeah.
I had a mini dachshund. Yeah. I don't know.
Dachshund.
I don't fucking know. You think I pronounced German like a German? We won the war.
We won it, so we didn't have to talk like that, David. Yeah. So, I think we were starting to talk about the ending being bad.
Yes.
Go for it.
Oh my gosh! Well, I mean, it's a little difficult to get into without spoilers.
We'll get into them very soon.
Let's just say, sequel.
Well, I mean, they all do that.
This one wants it harder than some others.
That's not even the part that I complained about, though. The part I complained about is actual plot for this movie.
I don't mind that they want a sequel. I mind how they set up the sequel.
It was just a
and how it
post-credit scene kind of thing.
Not just that. The stuff before it, too.
Yeah. That whole thing, it just reminded me of, like, Hot Fuzz, where it's like a pretend reshoot where the whole ending is like clearly different than the rest of the movie. Yeah. That's how this movie felt. It was like the whole ending. I was like, what the hell is happening? Even characters are talking differently. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, the main character in this is a girl I've seen before. I don't know her name. I think it's Madeline Klein, but that could have been the other girl.
Madeline Klein, I think, is the blonde one.
Oh, so then not her. Chase Sue Wonders. I've seen her a few times before, including Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And I like her. She was doing a Kristen Stewart impression in this movie, it kind of seemed like. if you know Kristen Stewart's acting style in Twilight in particular, just kind of just like a lot of frustrating, and I'm like, just emote like a normal human, okay? I like you. I do. She also kept flaring her nose. And I'm like, that's not... that emote like a human, please. But I do like her. I think she's good. Just there were some weird choices in there. Overall, though, I mean, the cast was okay. It's a cast of mostly forgettable people. That's like typical low-budget slasher things.
Hey, that episode of Atlanta that Tyreek was in, that's not forgettable.
Okay.
I only saw it the once. That's not forgettable.
But overall, yeah, it starts out fun. It's like got a couple of fun diversions of expectations, even how the plot gets sets up. It kind of tricks you a little bit in how it's gonna get going. But then, yeah, after a while, it just kind of started losing steam, and then the final reveal is really lame. Just really lame. So, like I said, I don't consider any of these movies good, but this one wasn't, like, bad in an entertaining way either by the end of it.
Yeah, not by the end. Other parts were.
Yeah. So overall, I'd probably give this like a 4 or a 5. It's mainly forgettable with a couple of dumb things that I think fans of the franchise will be annoyed by.
I'll be interested to hear about those, but yeah, I have to agree with you on that score, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I think it's slightly worse than the first one, maybe more than slightly. I mean, I didn't really love the first one. I got through it. It was all right. Great cast, you know, I like all the people there. You know, they've gone on to do things I've loved. But, yeah, that was just all right, the first one. And this one was worse, with a definitely worse ending, even if that first movie's ending kind of left me like, really? Did that disconnected?
Yeah. All right, so we're getting into spoilers now, though. I can't recommend it. But maybe if you're just big fans of the franchise, it'll be worth it for the member berries and references and stuff. But overall, I would skip it personally.
You could wait for this one.
Yeah, or that. So we're getting into spoilers now. So if you don't want anything spoiled, you should click away. Go watch it. If you really want, come back and we can talk about it then. But don't forget to like, share, follow, review, subscribe, all that shit, guys. All right, thanks. Bye. Opening the door. Holy hell. Oh my God. Oh, I just scraped my door.
Yeah.
It's hot, though. It's really hot.
So, where do we want to jump in here, then?
Can you actually look up for me? I'm curious about Freddie Prinze Jr. because I thought he was retired from live-action acting. So, can you find out the last time he was in something? He mainly does voice acting now. I guess he still does live-action stuff, but I also know he's not a fan of this franchise. He's kind of like the Harrison Ford of the franchise in a way where he didn't want to come back, I assumed.
I'm sure the paycheck was decent.
I'm sure the paycheck was decent, and I think he was like, 1, kill me, so I don't have to come back again.
That's fair.
And 2, make me the bad guy, because fuck you guys. At least give me something fun to do.
They kind of set him up as the bad guy in the last one for like a little bit. They made him...
Yeah, but you knew he wasn't ever going to be.
Honestly, until the very end, I was like... Because, like, I didn't expect the father of the...
Sure.
The...
Yeah, it's very Scooby-Doo, like I said, where it's like, Mr. Jenkins! And it's like, oh, okay, that's not how slashers typically go, I guess. But, damn, the amount of mosquitoes. We're going to be covered in bites after this.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
So, Freddie Prinze Jr., it was funny because, like, I knew it was him well before the reveal. Because, so early on in the movie, there's this podcast lady who's obsessed with... the whole thing, has done her research, is familiar with everybody. When she gets killed by him, she takes off the hat and goes, you. So you know it's somebody she's aware of. So it either has to be the guy who picked her up at the airport, which I did think about for a while, but then he dies, and so, like, I'm not thinking about you anymore. And I'm like, it has to be a guy. We'll get to that later. So I went Freddie Prinze Jr. And I was like, it just seemed too convenient. So I was like, I think it's him, but I don't want to say it out loud. I said to you, I've got a theory, but I didn't say it yet.
Yeah.
And then it tricks you by having there be 2 of them, like a la Scream. Guess that's a reference to that, or maybe they're just lazy writers, not sure. But it becomes one of the friends, Stevie, one of the many possible lesbians in this movie, is the bad guy, which just made me go, no. And then the reasoning they gave was also just lame. It was just... Well, you ruined my life kind of thing. I'm like, that's boring.
Yeah.
Don't like that. And then it's like, she's just not strong enough or big enough to have killed all these people. So I was like, there's no way it's actually her. And then they go like, oh, it's him. But it's like the scene that they show that it's him is Jennifer Love Hewitt is reading like a news article and goes, oh, it's him. And then it reveals that it's him after that. I'm like, you didn't need that scene of Jennifer Love Hewitt. Sure, you wouldn't have known why she showed up to save the day, but you don't need to know why. You just be like, oh, I read a thing.
Listen.
And now here I am saving the day because I'm Jennifer Love Hewitt and I'm amazing in every way.
She needed a little extra screen time, all right? You
She
complaining that
didn't
much?
have a lot, yeah.
No, I am glad that we caught it at the exact same points.
Yeah.
I also caught the you and
Yeah.
figured, all right, well, she studies the case, and the only two survivors of the case are Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. So, all right, it's one of these two probably. And then we started seeing Jennifer Love Hewitt a lot more, and I'm like, okay, probably not her.
Yeah.
That's she's
And
a
also,
little too helpful.
She's the main character. I know Freddie Prinze Jr. is one of the main characters, but it's different.
But I mean, it's a different movie now. And so, like,
Still, it's like you can't make Jennifer Love Hewitt the bad guy. You just can't.
it'd be weird, but like, it'd be the sort of
No.
thing. Look at how smart we are. You didn't see this coming. We made her the villain.
I also
now
did-
she's like remembering the past or whatever.
I also did think for a minute there that maybe it was the mayor guy, but I was like, the you doesn't really make sense for that. But like, it could have just been a cop out you.
Yeah, no. So as the movie started to go on, because once I eliminated her, I was just Freddie Prinze Jr. for most of the movie as my main suspect. But as the movie started going on, they start tossing all these other potential suspects at you, and I start remembering the first movie, how there was a lot of people that made potential sense for the
Yeah.
killer, and then it was the random father of
Yeah.
the.
Yeah,
And,
that's
okay.
why I went that way.
Yeah, so now I'm thinking, all right, maybe she just met somebody that we didn't know about, and that's the you there. And thankfully, it was still just.
The audio-only podcast guys are getting a wildly different podcast than the video guys. They don't see us going, "Huh, huh, huh." We're having karate lessons in here because there's about 15 mosquitoes.
Karate.
But yeah, no, it was. But then like his reveal on why he was the bad guy, even like I was happy because I was right, and then they reveal his motivation and it's so bad
Yeah, I didn't.
that I was like, now you just wasted a character on that story that shouldn't have happened.
I didn't like his either for his reveal. I will say with Stevie, I didn't love that Stevie was the killer.
No, it was lame.
She should have definitely been my main suspect of the gang the whole time. I wondered about the gender of the killer because clearly the killer's doing all these really strong things. I don't know. They're stabbing a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
They're using a lot of weapons though.
Yeah.
And they're dragging the one guy. I don't know how much the pull the weapon has for the first kill of the.
Even so, you have to
fiancé.
hold it.
Yeah. So like, there's some things that make me think it's a guy, but then the killer in this movie, more than I've seen in a while, is really getting ragdolled by the two guys.
Yeah, that's
Like
fair.
they mostly get caught by surprise, and that's how they lose because they're usually fighting him barehanded while he has I guess. No, I guess it is Freddie
Knives,
Prinze.
hooks, all this
Yeah, he's got
other
a
shit.
lot of bladed weapons, and they're just ragdolling him. If it was a straight up fist fight, they would probably have taken him out a couple of times outside
Well,
of
I
being idiots in a movie.
Granted, I haven't watched the original I Know What You Did Last Summer very recently, but that is a kind of thing in 90s slashers where the slasher gets the shit kicked out of them. Like, if you rewatch Scream, they get fucking beat up as
Okay.
they're running after these other
It's
people.
been a while since I've seen Scream, and then most of those movies will probably fall into a time period where I was not watching horror movies.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just like his reasoning was like, oh, I felt so bad for her.
Yeah.
And I wanted to help her.
So
And I'm like, what do you... Also, by the way, funny thing with Freddie Prinze Jr. is, I don't know if, like, people's voices get lower as they age. It sounded like he was doing an impression of that, like, cool cowboy guy.
you kind of yeah.
The whole time. And I was like, why are you doing, like, a lower voice? Until he got revealed as the bad guy. Then he was, like, up here. And he was, like, young Freddie Prinze Jr. again. I was like, what is going on?
Gotta throw us off a bit, even though the killer never speaks at all, so it doesn't
No.
really matter at all. But so yeah, for Stevie, it's like Stevie was part of the gang in the past, but some mysterious thing happened with like her father losing all her money, and then times got dark and the gang abandoned her.
She went to rehab and
Yeah,
they all
yeah.
made fun of her for it.
And she was recovering, and then they ruined her life again.
Yeah. I just didn't like her being the bad guy. Also, I forget the character's name, but the blonde chick.
Which one? Are we talking in the gang blonde chick, or are we talking
in the gang blonde chick.
Or are we, because
Yeah, we both thought she was a bad guy at some point, but she wasn't important.
no, well, the
The other blonde chick.
the church girl and the
But no, the main character girl, I forget her name. She was so
Danica.
annoying. And I was waiting the whole movie for her to die. And then she has a fake out death.
Yeah,
And like, she's one of the, because like, you know, in slasher films, there's a final girl. And so there's 2 final girls in this one though.
right.
And so it's like, she's got like the bad guy with the hook on her. And they're like, don't do it, with the gun on her. And I'm like, do it. She's really annoying. Just kill her. Like, she's the type of character that you see die first or second.
And listen, I would have thought she might have lived for how much they were going close together if it weren't for the very explicit dream sequence she has seeing.
Oh my god, the
seeing
fucking
the
fan
previous
service of that shit.
Yeah.
Which I was gonna bring up because it was funny. Back when this movie got announced, I forget where they were, but Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar are married in real life, so they were both somewhere together, and they got asked together, are you gonna be in the new movie? And Freddie Prinze Jr. was like, oh, I don't know. And then she goes like, well, I don't know if you remember, but I died, so I can't be in it. That was a good lie. You got me. I believe you that you weren't gonna be in this. And then here she was in some of the worst fan service I've ever seen.
Never doubt a dream sequence. You can bring anyone back.
It was so forced just to be like, oh, she's here. By the way, we're gonna throw some awful special effects on her.
It was like, you see the parallels between our gangs? I was the blonde who died first. Now you'll be the blonde who dies. Ooh. And then she didn't. And all the random fake out deaths towards the end were wild. Now, I laughed at them, so I'll give them that. But I don't think I was supposed to laugh at them.
No. They randomly bring Danica, the blonde girl, back to life just to be like, oh, we'll be in the sequel.
Yeah, that
and
was
then you
wild.
have them. Like, by the way, there's tons of, like, lesbian tension in this movie. Gay tension as well. The 2 guys... One, they're like holding a joint between their teeth, like they're like face to face holding a joint. They're like holding each other's lower backs, and the girls are literally fucking each other, and it's like.
And listen, don't forget that even though his name was Teddy, everyone was convinced it was Daddy.
I swore he called him Daddy.
Listen, I wouldn't put it past him after the rest of the movie.
But yeah, so then they have this moment at the end where they're leaning into that weird lesbian tension again. And they're like, we're soulmates. Yeah, we're soulmates. And then they go like, this never would have happened if men just went to therapy. I'm like, bitch, the bad guy was a girl.
Hey, but you see, what they're really saying is she wouldn't have been evil if Freddie Prinze Jr. had gone to therapy. Because
it's the men's fault that she snapped,
but
we're being honest.
You see, Freddie Prinze Jr. pushed her in that direction, right? And as he explained, he did it because the town, after nearly 30 years after the killing, they started trying to forget about it. Never forget, all right?
And what I was saying is fans may be offended by it because it's like, imagine if in the new Star Wars movie, it's like Han Solo became the bad guy. You're just like, he was the good guy the whole time and now he's the bad. It's just stupid. Like, and like I said, it was probably Freddie's idea. Like, he was like, get me the fuck out of this franchise and also let me do something fun on the way out. But like, it's just, it felt like such a disservice to the franchise.
See, the fun on the way out is the problem. Because like, if they just want to kill him, they could just have him killed.
Yeah.
Give him a heroic moment where he saves the kids, but gets killed. Cool. You know, never has to come back, gets his little send off.
And if he was going to be a villain, give him a cooler motivation. Because I was okay with him being the villain until the motivation. I was like, that was stupid.
I had to remind them. I forget what I thought his motivation was going to be. I thought it was just going to be like, y'all didn't take this. Y'all did this. You were all in the similar situation that we were in. You did the same thing, and you need to be taught this lesson too, because it changed us.
They were slightly less bad than the original group, though, because in this one they actually tried to save the guy.
Yeah,
they just couldn't.
The original group was way worse. Yeah. I don't blame them for not going down the cliff to save the guy.
Yeah.
I do blame them for leaving and then not going to the police at all.
Yeah.
But like not going down the cliff makes a lot of sense versus the other gang tossing the guy into the river.
Yeah.
Seeing that he's alive multiple times before you ultimately leave him there.
That's why I love scary movies so much. Where like, what do we do? Oh, I'm fine, guys. And then they throw the bottle. We can't have this. Throw it. But okay, so that reminds me of the references to Scary Movie that I thought was happening. The two friends in that one being so gay toward each other, and then the guys in this being gay toward each other. I was like, I feel like there's a lot of gay shit that's a reference, right? And then she ends up not dying, but in that first scene with Danica, when you think she's gonna die, Danica, or whatever, however, blonde girl,
Yeah.
she's wearing this white jacket that's wide open and just a white like bra or bikini top underneath it, which in Scary Movie, when he chases her, he rips open her shirt and it looks like that. I was like, is that that feels like it's a reference to Scary Movie as well. I'm not positive about that, either of them really, but it felt like Scary Movie references. And then of course there's, like I said, there's a ton of member berries. Like they have to throw in the like, what are you waiting for? Which didn't even make any sense when she said it. He's like, I'm the bad guy now. And she goes, oh, really? And he's like, yeah. And she goes, what are you waiting for? I'm like,
But
What?
they had to say the line.
like, that didn't make any sense, though.
But how else is the audience going to point at the screen and go, they said the thing?
And then they,
That's
like-
the line from the first movie.
They show up to her class to show she's a teacher, and it starts with her screaming, it's happening again. Then she turns around like, that's what her brain does. I'm like, shut
That
the
was
fuck up. That should have been cut. Her introduction could have been walking down the hall. That would have got the point across. Also, speaking of poor editing in this movie, so many times things happened and it just felt like we were missing something or it wasn't edited right. So he is in the sauna, right?
Right.
And he gets the note of, you're next.
Mhm.
We cut away.
Yeah.
We cut back. He's at home 8 beers deep. And I'm like, if I had just been threatened, like, your life is about to end, I'm not going home and slamming an 8-pack.
Listen, I almost understand that if he was just giving up.
Yeah.
Like, if he's just getting drunk
But
to
he
be
was like,
numb
I'm
for
going to
giving-
the gym to get ready for this guy. And then he starts fighting back. Like, he even punches them and goes like, whoa, like, come on. And I'm like, dude, why are you fucked up for this? And then there was just multiple times with the editing where it was just poor, like, scare tactics. Where so the main character girl and the podcast girl are at this location. And then it just cuts to a shot of the bad guy standing there.
Yeah.
And it's not like a bam, there he is, or oh, he's sneaking up and there he is. It's just like, oh, I'm walking around, turns casually, there he is. I'm like, was this supposed to be scary because the editor didn't get the memo?
I don't know. You see, he's scared. He just appears, man.
Yeah, or she, or whoever, whichever one it
Yeah,
was
that,
at the
that
time.
is the one
I don't
thing
know.
because
He helped her. What did he do to help?
the multiple threw me completely off. I didn't
Because
guess.
it never gave the illusion of there being more than one.
I didn't guess that at all. They don't look different. They don't act very different.
Like in Scream, the one guy gets locked up, so the other guy keeps going, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
This one, there's no need for two people.
They're just not around a whole lot, so they.
You never see
Yeah.
either of them in the same place as the killer anyway, I don't think. Maybe you do. Maybe I need to watch it again, but I don't want to. Anyway, we're out of time. This movie, not good.
Nah.
You can skip it and just watch the first one again because that's what this one's trying to do anyway.
Kind of hope it gets a sequel though. That'd be kind of
Oh,
funny.
I don't want it. We didn't even get to talk about her running into her own roommate like it's not over, like stupid shit anyway.
Oh yeah, who we fucking up this time?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's member berries and it's nothing. Thanks, guys.
Ooh,
What?
wait. That's why
We're out of time.
That's
my
why they
dude.
left the friend alive, because they're gonna have a two
Oh.
girl team up. You know, it'll be
Yeah, let's
the
get
four of them.
let's go full women power on this shit. God
Yeah.
damn it.